On this segment, I'm joined by Clay Smith, and we're talking about VIP as a promotions. And Clay, thank you for taking a second to be with us, but tell us a little bit about VIP promotions, because you have done a lot of things that's impacted the community in many positive ways. And, and of course today we're talking about a particular thing, but bring us up to speed.
Sure. Well, VIP is 14 years old. We've started the company back in '91. Basically, our business has been in the direct mail services business of providing mailing lists, custom mailing lists, creating marketing packages, and even doing the mail fulfillment programs for our customers. Along the way, also, we've created and published a number of resource directories for the Lehigh Valley. Specifically, back in the year of 2000, we published a resource guide for seniors in the Valley, printed and distributed at no charge, about 30,000 copies of that directory. And basically what it was a resource guide that included resources that would be available to anybody of the senior age. We followed that up with publishing a resource directory for children and parents. Then we did one for people with disabilities as well in 2003.
Now, you've said a lot, and that takes a lot of work, a lot of concentration, a lot of energy. And now let's talk about what we're talking about on this segment, because it has to do with a lot of interesting people just moving into the area.
Well, we've, as part of the things we do with our mail list, we've actually compiled and published a list of all the families that buy and move into single-family homes in both Lehigh and Northampton counties. And over the years, we've watched those numbers grow tremendously. Art, back in the late 90s, it was probably about 6,000 or 7,000 families a year buying and moving in single-family homes. And that's a combination of resales as well as new construction. Over the last couple of years, however, as I'm sure you're aware, the real estate market has just been sizzling. Home sales have dramatically increased. We've got folks moving in from Jersey and New York, settling in the area. And what used to be 6,000 or 7,000 households a year is now up over 12,000 a year. And that's, again, a combination of resales and new construction. So we watched that market really start to hop. We realized a lot of people coming into the area that may be in need of information about things they might like to do to that home as they're moving in, as well as families, even they may be in this community for many years, but bought a single-family home. Now they're selling in the new community, and they love the home, but there's different things they might like to do with it.
Well, let's talk about the directory. How can people be a part of it? What is going into it? Of course, everybody's going to get one. They're going to want one of these when they move in. How does it work?
Well, here's a kind of a prototype of the book, if you would. It's a resource directory with a magazine format, and in that it's going to have a considerable amount of editorial content in it besides just information or statistical information. Folks will be able to read about things like interior design on their home or landscaping and lawn care of their new home. They might buy a home, even a brand new construction, love the house, but maybe would love to see a pond in the backyard somewhere. There'll be information in the directory editorially to help them with that. There also, Art, there'll be a considerable amount of reference information as well on shopping and schools and healthcare and those sorts of things as well.
Now, to me, as a homeowner moving into the area, you don't really know a lot of people. So the resource that this thing becomes is just vital. I mean, it becomes a really important resource.
Well, it gives folks, I think, an excellent starting point in a lot of areas. The book will be one that folks will keep around the house and hopefully use going forward as they're considering different things they might want to do in or around their house, as well as just the basics in terms of contacting elected government officials in the area. That information will be in the directory as well.
Now, you have a plan to get these in the hands of those people.
Yeah, as I mentioned, there are about 12,000 plus households changing hands each year, and our plan is on a monthly basis to mail every single one of those families a copy of the directory soon after they move in, within weeks after they move in. Additionally, Art, we're also going to go back and mail copies of this book out to folks that have been in their homes for 2 or 3 years as well. And these will be folks randomly selected as particular segment of the population across both Lehigh and Northampton County. And the reason for that is we know that a lot of folks, when they first move into a home, will immediately embark on a number of different projects, things they'd like to do to the house to kind of personalize it for themselves. We also know that some folks will hold back and not do that immediately. They'll wait a year or 2 or 3. And we want to get this book into the hands of those folks as well. So we'll be mailing out every month 1,600 to 1,800 copies of this to those families. Now also, we'll have copies of the book going out through other areas as well. The Visitors and Convention Center has agreed to have copies of the books there, and folks coming into the area, maybe looking at the area, will get copies of it as well. And there'll be other ways we'll be getting the book out.
Now, from a businessman's perspective, I mean, listening to what you're saying, I would want to be in that book. Is it expensive? How does that work?
No, so I don't believe it's expensive. We really tried to make it affordable. You know, when we sat down and looked at all the different types of businesses that maybe ought to be represented in here, and we're talking about businesses well over 100 in number. Now, we probably won't have all those in there, but we were able to look at that and price the advertising and the display ads in the book accordingly. Basically, for a couple of cents a house, somebody could have a display ad in this directory, so it's pretty inexpensive.
Suppose they'd like to be featured in the directory. Is that a possibility?
Well, we are selecting certain advertisers to provide some of the editorial content in the directory. One of the companies that's in the book is I think a really neat company. It's called Finishing Edge Concrete. They do decorative concrete in your driveway or in your patios and that sort of thing. They're going to provide an editorial piece for us that'll address that whole concept of using decorative concrete. So it'll be informative as well as just having a display ad in the book.
Now, as we talk about this, and as I'm holding in my hand one of them like you are, I mean, it's a great looking book. It just reads well, looks well. I mean, people will want to have it. So if somebody happens to be watching this and maybe they're not on your list and wanted to get one, they could also request one?
All they have to do is give us a call. They can reach us at area code 610-740-5611. Just leave a message. I need your name, address, telephone number if you'd like, but mainly the name and address. Spell it out, any tough words for us so we know where to send the book. But we're more than happy to send a copy out to anybody requested at no charge.
Final comment, Clay, to anybody watching this, when they think about what you're doing, what should they do?
Well, they ought to give us a call, and I'd be more than happy to send out a media kit. Business owners in the area that might have an interest in being in this book, we have a professionally prepared media kit. We'd be happy to send it out to you. Look it over, then if you have any questions, we'll try and answer them for you.